Hey y'all, my name is Nico Tortorella.
And I'm Bethany C. Meyers.
And this is...
Full of Shift.
This is Full of Shift. Pesci already knows the song.
Who
That's
taught
crazy.
it to him?
You.
It's amazing. Our kids are so smart.
So smart. We're so smart. What's up, y'all? It's Christmas Eve.
Everybody.
It's Christmas Eve.
It is Christmas Eve.
I mean, like, technically it's not Christmas Eve when we're recording this episode, but when you're hearing it here, it's Christmas Eve.
It's close to Christmas Eve right now. We're not that far away.
Yeah. Da-da-da.
My beautiful tree.
You really did such an amazing job this year. Can you tell us about this tree, Bethany C. Meyers?
Yes, I can. There are 3,300 lights on this 6-foot tree.
Dang!
Which is obnoxious.
It's taller than 6 feet. It's closer to 7 feet.
Okay. It's a 6-7 footer.
Yeah.
Every year I'm like, I'm not going to do the whole light thing. That's not true. I say I'm going to do the light thing, but I tell myself it's going to go faster, and then it's always a 2-day fiasco.
This year felt like it was easier than the last couple years.
Well,
though.
remember last year in our house, we had that electrical issue.
Right.
And every time we turned on the tree, all
They
of the power
blow
would go
a
out on the
fuse
first floor.
First floor, yeah. Man, I forgot about that.
It was a mess. We ended
Well,
up
don't you
having to
remember-
plug into a ton of different outlets and separate it all. It was like a
Don't you
whole
remember
thing.
it started a fire in the outlet outside?
Yes.
The
We had to have an
outlet lit
electrician
on fire.
come.
Yeah.
That was because of the outside lights
Yeah.
that were hung. It was
well, the
it was a
outside
lot.
lights was the whole thing. That's maybe why it feels easier this year. 'Cause we're
Maybe
not
easier
doing
for
the
you. I'm
outside.
the only one that does the lights. It was not
Even
easy.
if I wanted to do it, you wouldn't let me get in there with the lights. So
No, but I'm saying it does feel easier for you
no,
because
there's no
you're
outside
not in it.
lights.
So anyway, I get all the way to the top, all the lights are almost done, and then half the tree goes out. I blew a fuse and a strand, and I had to go find it. It was frustrating,
And
to
you
say
went-
the least.
You only had to go to Home Depot once.
That's true. I only had to go to Home Depot once, which was also a disaster. Anyway, we have grapefruits on the tree,
Hey, now.
dried homemade grapefruits for Nico,
Grapefruit, take
We have
me home.
pearls for Pesci Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
We have doves for Kilmer Dove. We have pink hibiscus for Florida. And the lights are for me.
The lights are Miss Bethany C. Meyers. Mama's lighting this house on fire.
Okay, we have a cute episode today.
Yeah, we have a very cute episode
I
today.
planned something.
This is announcement. This is going to be our
End of
last
season
episode
1.
for the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't plan on it happening this way, but we sat down and kind of like came up with a schedule for next year.
Well,
and we're
this
like,
is-
okay, let's do one episode Christmas Eve, take a few weeks off,
Right.
figure out what a second season's going to look like, and hit the ground running.
This is episode 15, though.
14.
I think 15.
14 or
Alexa's
15.
12, Sean is 13, 30-day
Oh,
shift
yeah.
is
Yeah.
14. This is 15.
episode 15. I can't believe we've been doing this for 15 weeks.
I know.
We didn't miss it. Oh, I guess we missed Thanksgiving. But we did that for you, not for us.
Okay. Can we talk about the game we're playing today?
No, can we talk about Christmas a little bit more before we get into the game?
Sure, I'm just excited.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about Christmas for the first time in 36
You are
years.
excited about Christmas.
Christmas historically is not really like my thing. Like I could take it or leave it. I don't dislike Christmas. I'm not like
Right.
Scrooge up in this house.
But you're not like,
But-
let's do a tree. Let's buy the presents.
Yeah.
Let's do the, you're
The
not into the,
festivities of it all.
the events.
Yeah,
And I am. I love Christmas.
you do. You always have.
And I decided probably like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, I want Christmas to be my holiday. I want to be like a Christmas mom.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when we started having our Christmas party.
Yep. In New York and New Jersey.
Uh-huh. And then this year, because we were having a baby so close to Christmas, I was kind of like, I'm
I
not
thought we were
doing
taking
the whole
holidays
thing.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were very excited.
Even Thanksgiving too. I did not think this was all going to happen.
I
this
was
year.
like, I'm not doing the big Christmas tree. I'm definitely not putting up 2 trees. I'm not having the Christmas party.
I for sure thought we were going to get a break this year. I was into it. I was into the idea of it
But
because we would have been
then-
like, like cool small town Florida Christmas.
Well, I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah,
You bought
I know it's my fault.
Kilmer the little blue truck Christmas. We
Right.
love Little Blue Truck. If you don't know about Little Blue Truck, it's great.
Great. It's a children's book.
Yeah. And so you bought her the Christmas one, and
Yeah.
at the end of the book, it talks about Little Blue Truck going to pick up a Christmas tree. And at the end, it lights up. There's lights. And she was so into Christmas lights.
Upset. Carmeline.
Carmelite. And I'm like, I can't. Now she's like into it. Last year, she just wanted to eat the tree.
Yeah.
And so we had to do it. And then I've been feeling good.
Well, where it really started is we thought we weren't going to do anything for Thanksgiving. And you were feeling good. And I was like, we should go somewhere for Thanksgiving. Let's go to your brother's house in Naples. And you were like, really? Like, yeah, let's do it. So we took our first road trip as a family of 4.
Mm-hmm.
The way there was awesome.
The way there was breezy. We didn't even stop.
Like,
3
wow,
hours.
this is amazing. Like, we could do this any day.
We got this so figured out. How was the way back, babe?
Drive home was rough. The first hour and a half, 2 kids screaming in the car, truly nonstop.
It was horrible. But you know what? We stopped at you found a little recreational.
Yeah, just outside
of.
of
It was just like literally
Okeechobee.
picnic tables.
Yeah.
And everyone got outside.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is actually the key to parenting is to go outside.
Yeah, get outside.
Like when shit's hitting the fan, it's time to go outside.
And this is our first winter in Florida as full-time residents.
Yes.
Y'all, take me home.
I thought I wasn't going to like warm Christmas. I love warm Christmas.
It's unbelievable.
But you know what? The last time I had warm Christmas, we were living in California and I was not into it because California, the season is like during the day, right? It's like cold, warm, cold, but you don't get it throughout the year.
Right.
And I didn't like that. But what's different here is it still does feel seasonal because it has cooled off.
It's been like 65, yo.
It's cold.
It's cold.
But it's perfect. This is exactly the kind of winter weather I want. And it still has like a shift.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
We went to the Christmas parade in our small town a few days ago. Y'all.
It was the best time of my life.
Small town Florida, Christmas.
So good.
That's it.
Because in New York, right, the Christmas parade is like literally Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
Right. And it's freezing.
It's cold, but it's not like you're going to like, oh, let's pop in the car and go down and see the parade.
Yeah, like a last minute decision that's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, it's nuts to go to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
It's an event.
We've never been, but I can only imagine it's.
You couldn't pay me to go to the Macy's Thanksgiving
Day
parade.
No. And
Granted,
this
we went
was
to
like.
plenty of pride parades.
True. We were in them.
Yeah.
So this was like, we went over to a friend's whose house was a block away and parked in her driveway and had a drink and
pre-gamed
let
a little
kids
bit,
play.
let the kids play.
They roped off a spot on the sidewalk,
Walked
went down
there,
put the kids in a wagon.
Yeah, sat in some collapsible chairs, and it was an epic Christmas parade.
It was so good.
All the floats were Christmas movie themed.
Yeah, so they were all the Grinch.
It was amazing. Kilmer was obsessed.
Merry Christmas!
Santa, ho,
Merry Christmas!
ho, ho.
It was really cool.
Her face. It's really cool. It's really cool to watch her.
Yeah, Christmas with kids is a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's so special.
It's actually like the magic that I've been wanting these years that I've been into Christmas and doing the Christmas thing, but like the magic is like really there now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very sweet.
We've had a little bit of a difficult time keeping the magic alive in this house as of late, though.
Yeah. I feel like there's questions that are going to spark it.
I'm not saying that sexually. I feel like that could have potentially sounded sexually, but we've been having a little bit of a hard time.
I actually feel a little bit nervous about some of this episode because we're going to be answering questions that you guys have for us this episode.
Yeah, that's the theme of this episode, questions.
And I've skimmed them. I tried not to look too closely so I wouldn't be like it can feel more surprise. But I know there's some about like, do you guys fight or do you whatever? And I've been a little nervous that we're just going to sound mad at each other this whole time and it's not going to be an enjoyable Christmas episode to listen to.
Because we have been a little bit mad at each other, but who were we talking to who said, we fight, but we can fight, but it's like always, there's never a real worry to it. Who were we talking to about that?
I think I told you that Tay said that about us, like that
about us specifically.
Yeah, that she's like, it's nice to like watch you guys fight and like know that you're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's unconditional. It's no matter what, right? Like,
Right.
we can say shit to each other, get into it, like, have a bone to pick with each other, but there's never, like, the slightest inkling that, like, shit is collapsible.
No. And where we are right now is it's not just a fight. It's like, I know this feeling between the two of us.
Yeah.
We, I'm assuming all relationships do this, but we kind of go in and out of these
Phases,
waves,
yeah.
and we're just in that dip right now. And I hate when we're here. It's hard to get on the same page. It feels like everything that we say to each other feels defensive,
Yeah.
and
Fuck you, babe. I'm just kidding.
like that. Like it's, everything has a little bit of an undertone.
There's an edge.
And when we're here, we lose like an intimacy between us. And by intimacy, I mean like physical touch, just
Right.
like cuddling on the couch. Like it doesn't exist.
Well,
And I also remember another time that we were in this spot was when we first moved to Florida. So we
Yeah.
had a big transition. And around this time after Kilmer was born. And I truly think that like 6 to 12 weeks postpartum, this just happens. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is not like a super surprise or like a rare experience for second-time parents, right? This is the first time as a family of 4. We're learning the ropes. We're not sleeping next to each other, right? We co-sleep. I'm on the floor with Kilmer, not like on the floor, on a mattress on the floor. You're in our bed with him. We just haven't slept next to each other in months at this point. And it's hard,
I
Yeah.
miss you.
I miss you too, babe. I love you. It's okay. We're in deep, deep transition right now. Like deep shift. Arguably the greatest shift of our lives at this point, thus far. And we don't really know like what the future seems like, not like the immediate future, like the next few months, the top of 2025. It just feels so unknown. I'm coming up to 2 years since I've been at work. Hopefully it's only a matter of time before I book a job, and we don't know where it's going to be or where it's going to take us. Usually when I book a job, we have to go live somewhere else for a few months, and we're in a rental here. We sort of have an idea of how long we're going to be here, but we don't really know where we're going after this. It's just there's like a lot in flux right now.
Yeah. We just added another person to our family.
Yeah.
And I am still extremely hormonal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. But it's okay. Like these times demand a level of closeness, whether or not it's right in front of our face.
Yeah, but that's what's hard. We don't feel close right now. Like I'm close to him.
Right. And I'm close to her. Yeah. But these are extensions of us.
I remember like seeing this reel when I was pregnant with him. Oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop crying.
You're good.
When I was like early pregnant with him, of somebody being like, I had our second, and it just felt like my husband was with the older kid and I was with this kid, and we just didn't feel like a family of 4, and it just felt so separate. And she was basically like, I just need you to know, I promise it will come back together and it will be amazing. And like everybody will be able to like do the things together. And I just like, I don't want to like wish this time away with him because these early days are so fleeting and so sweet. But I'm also just like ready for the next phase when we all feel more connected. And it's not like, like every time Kilmer comes around Pesci, I'm like, oh my God, please don't bite him or poke his eyes out, Like even that is hard just for them to like lay next to each other. Like she loves him and she gets into it and then she wants to bite him, I mean, and she's still a baby. She's not even 2.
Not even 2 years old. This is not forever, babe. And this time has been really special to like watch you transition, watch him grow. We're just at 8 weeks right now. To watch Kilmer experience this, to like see him really come to these last few weeks.
Yeah,
He's like
getting so
recognizing us for the
smiley.
first time. He's getting smiley. It's beautiful in Florida. Like, I don't want it to seem like, everything is really difficult right now because it's not.
No, but it's okay that it's tough.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
And we love all of you. Thanks for showing up to this shit. It's been a fun 15 weeks. We've learned a lot about ourselves in this process. We're learning a lot about all of you and how we want to do this shit. And we're gonna play a game. We're gonna answer some questions. Bethany put something up on Instagram, kind of like build this up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So it's simple. We asked a sticker question on our stories. We're like, ask us anything. People sent in a bunch of questions. I put them all into a doc, cut them up into strips of paper right here. Again, I really tried not to like read them too much. I wanted to be a little bit surprised.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
I skimmed. So I think that we take turns drawing them, and we each get one pass.
Okay. We get one pass.
One pass, and we'll see how many we get through.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to start?
Yeah. Sure. I'll go
Okay,
first. Dun, dun, dun. Are you religious, spiritual? Do you plan to raise your kids to believe in something?
Whoa, that's a big one to start
That's
with.
a loaded question to start with.
Okay, pass. No.
We both have very different experiences with religion growing up. You were raised in the Second Baptist Church in, the sticks in Missouri.
I was raised Independent Baptist in the church, part of the school. I was raised extremely religious.
Yeah.
And
like to the point where you weren't allowed to wear certain things, you weren't allowed to watch certain things on TV, you weren't allowed to listen to specific music. Like the list is deep. Yeah.
We'll do it. I know several people have asked about a religion episode. We'll do one.
Yeah.
I'll jump into it. Not right now. But
There's a lot of trauma with religion.
Yes.
And on
I'll tell it.
Yeah.
Hang on.
So I'm going
to do my long story short.
Okay.
Raised super religious, had a falling out with the church that was very hurtful at a young age.
Yeah. You got like
completely
excommunicated.
Rebelled. Yeah. Rebelled against it. Like, and then now I would say that I have a nice, for the most part, it doesn't pop up too much, but I have a nice like spiritual relationship with earth and spirit.
Yeah.
But it took a long time to get there, and you were a big part of that. You should listen to the ayahuasca episode for a little bit more on that.
I was raised, my family historically is Catholic. There was not a lot of church growing up, if at all. I was raised with predominantly Jewish people. Spent more time in a synagogue and temple than I did in church. But I had a few people in my family who were pretty spiritual and demanded a level of education. And I've always been deeply spiritual. I talk to different people and things in my head all the time. And we've done a lot of plant medicine work and a lot of meditating.
Rituals.
Yeah, ceremony, spirituality is a huge part of my life. And I absolutely believe in a higher power, a oneness that exists, that we are all part of. And yeah, we're going to kind of let our kids do their own thing. I think that like children are inherently spiritual beings. We all are. We're going to like encourage them to tap into it from a very early age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel, we haven't like had huge talks about this, but I feel particular that the same religious structure and walls aren't put on my kids. Like that feels
like
important
you had
to me.
Yeah.
Yes, like I had.
Right, yeah.
But I think that we'll involve them in spirituality the same way that we are. Like something that you do is like everything that comes into this house has meaning, right? Like the
Every
Christmas
single
tree
thing.
has
Yes.
meaning, the
Yes.
decorations that are on them, like the
Yes.
things that come in have meaning. And I already see you.
Intention.
Yeah, intention. Like we do that with Kilmer and the things that she has, and
Everything.
like, being gentle with plants,
Yeah.
like, because they're alive and they're living. Like I think in those ways, spirituality will come into play. And then also like letting them lead. If there's something they want to explore, we need to let them explore.
And kids are like deeply, deeply, deeply spiritual.
Right.
Like there's so much that I'm actually excited to learn from them that wasn't necessarily like fostered in me as a child, Like if I was taught to lean into what I was hearing and what I was seeing as a kid, what could I have actually discovered and what could I have shared? And I think that's the key here. Like we are going to encourage our kids to tap in and to share with us so we can experience what they're experiencing in real time and attempt to make some sense of it. From both of our children's full astrology chart readings, we got some power in this house. And yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of lessons here for all of us.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Next question. Good question. Thank you for that.
How have your parents and siblings reacted to your shifts, and what impact has it had on your work?
It's like 20 episodes, y'all.
Let's see. I don't want to talk too much, I think, about my family in this.
It's been a work in progress, like across the board. Today, we are closer to both of our families than we ever have been. We have like the healthiest relationships across the board than we ever, I think, ever have had, both as kids, even as adults. We're doing really good right now.
Yeah,
like really,
definitely.
really, really good.
And there was a time when we were not doing good. And I think during that time, I wanted to like blame it on my family. Like they aren't open-minded enough, or they don't love me enough, or they, whatever. But now I think that I actually contributed to that.
Totally. Me too.
Like completely. And I think that the more that we have let things go, like, how do I say this? The less that we've tried to control the way that other people think or think about us, and just show up as ourselves and happy and like listen and communicate and all sit at the table together, the better things have been.
And not like attempt to preach anything on anyone.
Exactly.
Or like have people preach to us. There was a time where there was like very different ideas and opinions, and we would come together and there would be some sort of like debate on who was right and who was wrong. And that sentiment exists in this country arguably more intensely than ever right now.
Yeah, you need to go and like change people's minds.
Right, yeah, but we're just like, we're not on that page at all right now. Like we are attempting to lead with the openest of hearts.
Yeah. I think there's like, I always think about it as like calling people in and not calling people out has gotten us a lot further in our relationships. And honestly, like family has just become so important. It felt really distant for a while. And now like, there's studies about how important it is for kids to be close to their grandparents and to like have that extended relationship family, and extended family. So I think even though there are differences, the more that we can come together and find the same commonality, the commonality, the better. The sames. The
sames, yeah. Openest of hearts. Yeah, we're on a grammar kick here, y'all. Also, I think the key to this conversation is us having kids, right? It just changed everything. It changed our own access to each other, our own access to our families. We geographically moved to Florida to be closer to families. When you have kids, you start to see your parents differently, and you realize the sacrifices that they made.
The sacrifices they made, and also that they like didn't have it all figured out in the way that I thought they did.
How young they were.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in age, but like also the age of technology and the world and the access that they had. There was no internet guiding our parents on how to do this shit.
No, they just had the what to expect when you're expecting book.
Right. Yeah.
If that, I don't think either of our parents read that book actually.
No, I think both of our parents did an incredible job, and they they did the best with what they had, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. And like, there's no resentment there. There's no anger. We've had some difficult times like everyone has, but love prevails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep this shift alive, y'all. What, if anything, do you fight about, and what does it look like for you? What do we fight about?
Well, first of all, the what, if anything, like if there's a couple that's not fighting, I don't trust them. Something's wrong there. They're lying.
Yeah, there's
like you have to fight.
Yeah, you have to. It's so healthy.
Sometimes we fight just so we can make up.
Yeah, and have some sex. Yeah.
That's what it's insinuating.
Yeah.
Do you know that song?
No.
Yeah, we're two of a kind.
Oh, yeah.
Working on a full house.
Yeah, I know that song.
Garth Brooks, baby.
Garth Brooks.
All right.
What do we fight about? I don't even fucking know what we fight about.
What do we fight about?
It's nothing.
We fight about...
It's tone. It's energy, right?
Yes.
Like, we fight about not saying the things that we want to say, right? Or like...
We fight because you're a dick.
Because you're Okay, last night. Let's just go to last night.
No, because you can't just go to last night because that's all right, fine. But, okay.
There was a level of expectation from you last night. You don't say things. You just expect me to know what you're thinking, know what you're feeling, and show up. And sometimes you want me to show up, and other times you want me to stay far away, right? And like, I'm supposed to be able to read these things perfectly. And...
that doesn't even count. Last night was a combination of the last several weeks, and then finally I was like, I just want you to be close to me, and you didn't want anything to do with me. You did not actually want to give me a hug standing over there. Don't even try to pretend like you did, because I know you didn't. And I was like trying to soften up, and you weren't into it.
I was tired and cold last night. I just wanted to go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, it's also hard. I mean, there's times when you do that too, where you're like, come on, soften up with me. I'm like, I don't feel like hugging you right now.
All the time.
Well, I was trying to do it
That's
last night.
usually me.
You usually say I'm sorry first, yes. Yeah.
Always.
Not always. A lot of times. You do.
98% of the time.
Okay.
I'm coming to you first.
All right. I got a lot going on right now.
So do I. That's definitely something we fight about sometimes. There's just this like inherent belief that you, and I'm not arguing it, but like because of the physicality of the last few years, that like there is no comparison in how hard you've had it versus how hard I've had it.
I just think that after you give birth, there is a different level of emotion, stuff going on that is just,
I'm not arguing
really
that.
tough.
Of course, it's really tough.
And I also I haven't had postpartum depression yet. And it's definitely something that I like want to keep at bay because I think that me as a person am susceptible to it.
Yeah. No, I feel
and
that.
And it's just tough right now.
Yeah. And also like, I'm not a depressed person, but the last year, like I've had bouts and doubts. I've had a level of insecurity and unknowingness around work that has like really fucking affected me. Like I feel like I am like less of a man because of my ability to show up for my family right now. And it's been really fucking hard. And it's like, it's difficult to navigate my own ability to like be sad or be down or feel like I'm having a hard time when there is no comparison. Right. And yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. I love you.
Yeah.
Next fucking question. Let's go.
That's what it looks like when we fight. Is it my turn or your turn? Ugh. These are heavy, guys.
Merry Christmas, y'all. We'll see you season 2.
What's your favorite ice cream? Okay. How do you handle shifts in friendships when your lives go in different directions?
This is all Bethany.
This one has been really, really difficult for me. I lost a close friend in the last year. It's been a year now. And it
Not
has
like she passed away, just
no. Did it
yeah.
sound like that?
Could have. I was just
Okay.
clearing that up.
Okay. No, we had a falling out, and I think since, and actually like a lot of friendship has distanced since becoming a mom, and it's been really, really hard. I value friendships. I love having friends and cultivating friendships. I think I tend to be the person in friendships that like does the calling or makes the plans or like get everyone together, and I love that. But when I had a baby, I felt this is how I personally felt, whether or not it's totally true. I felt like people who I had always shown up for and done a lot for couldn't show up for me when I needed them. And suddenly things felt very, very one-sided. And I was like, I need this level of support right now. And I wanted people to get it, which maybe that's, unrealistic expectations on my part, is that people can really understand that. But, it's not like I needed everyone to come over and like babysit for me, but I needed more people to call and be like, what's going on? How are you? Are you good? Like, I'm bringing over some food. Let's sit and eat together, And it really hurt my feelings deeply. And then I felt kind of irrelevant once we moved, and it was like, wow, I've put in like 12 years into these friendships, and I've shown up for so many different things in different ways, and yeah, it's been really sad. So making new friends in Florida has been exciting. Like, I feel like we've just started to like turn the corner and like, okay, we have friends, we're having a Christmas party here with people coming, like that's exciting. But the transition's been deep and tough. And so how do I handle it? Like, I don't know. A lot of therapy.
And talking to the friends that you do have about it, that have
Yeah.
stuck around.
Yeah.
I think
There's
that's
definitely
like
friends
really
that have
important for you.
stuck through,
Yeah.
But I know that this is something that a lot of other moms experience once they have kids. Like, I've found other people online talking about the same thing, or people asking me about it. So this is really common, unfortunately. And it's really hard. Like, other moms that are out there and who are going through that, yeah, I see you and I feel you. It's really difficult to like watch that happen.
I am excited and impressed by your ability to make new friends, and it's been cool to watch you make new friends here. And yeah, you're just so good at it. I have a weird relationship with friendship.
I think you've been doing a good job though.
Yeah, better I think than I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely like taught in my family growing up. Like, no one in my family has friends. It's a thing for the most part. Like, we were taught that the only people you can trust are your family, and friends will stab you in the back. There's obviously like a lot of trauma there in different places, but like friends aren't important, right? So I was like I have one best friend that I talk to all the time, but like maybe one other that I touch base with on like a somewhat regular basis. And even that, like, it's not really there. Like, I talk to my mom every day, multiple times. Like, my mom is my best friend in so many ways. But yeah, I don't really have friends. I never really have, to be honest with you. Not like friends like other people have. Like, I have a lot of people that I'm like acquaintances with, that if I needed something or if they needed something, like, yeah, we would be there. But no, you're my best friend,
Yeah.
and you always have been.
Yeah.
And like, I know that like I'm going to be very good friends with my kids for the rest of my life because that's how I was raised.
And we're going to keep making friends here.
And we're going to keep making friends here. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But just like, I never really have had friends. I don't mean to say that in like a, oh, woe is me. It's just not been part of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been sad at certain points. Like if I walk through a park and like see a big group of friends hanging out, like that's never been me.
Well, it's interesting because your brother has like this huge
Massive
community of
community of
friends
people,
and they
yeah.
all do things together. It's like,
He's really the only one in my family that has
Yeah.
anything like that.
I mean, he's like a hippie, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what all that group of friends does.
All right, next question. What were both of your favorite parts about writing your books? Do we have more to look forward to?
Writing a book was such a weird process. It was so different than I thought it would be because there's like or at least in my book writing process, which was not a memoir, it was more like a self-help book. There's like a formula. And so sometimes I would sit down and I would like write all this stuff and then and I love my editor, like great friends with my editor. She's wonderful, but she would like chop it up in ways that I was like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. You know, like it's different when it's writing to sell. Yeah, it was an interesting process. I don't know. It was not. Oh, getting to know my editor and co-writer and like meeting with them weekly. It was like little therapy sessions. That was really cool.
The second
It's
half,
very vulnerable to put yourself in a book though, and it's very weird. Like different than like showing myself birthing on Instagram. It feels like way more vulnerable. Vulnerable.
do we have more books to look forward to from Bethany C. Meyers?
I don't know. Maybe down the road. You answer it. What was your favorite part?
I've put 3 books out. The first book, All of It Is You, poetry, a fucking blast. I loved writing that book. I loved selling that book. I loved performing that book. I really got to do what I wanted with that book. Like, it was fun. It was cool. It moved fast. My second book, Space Between, feels like a foreign exchange student to me right now. It feels so far from who I am today. It's a really strange feeling. I had a very specific idea of how I wanted to write that book and how I wanted to put it out in the world. And there was a challenge with my publishers on which version of the book needed to be put out into the world. And obviously, I was talking about very different things at that point in my life. And they wanted a very specific version of this book, and that's what we put out. And I'm super proud of so much of what's in the book, but there's a lot of information in the book that I don't necessarily like. I'm not standing on the same mountain anymore, right? So it feels like an antiquated version of who I am. And there's some of it that feels not like the truest version of myself today. It's a very strange feeling. Maybe there's a follow-up to that book, being like, LOL, JK. And my kids' book was somewhere in the middle. Like, I wrote my kids' book really quickly during the pandemic. I was really excited about putting it out. Writing a kids' book is an arduous process with a publisher. Like, it just took forever. The artwork took forever. Like, there's a formula to it. So it's been really cool to like talk about that book and do a thing and share it with the kids. Do we have more books? Yeah. I would love to keep writing books. I love it. I would love to be like more in control than I have been in the past.
Yeah.
I want to get back to like the poetry of it all.
Yeah. All of It Is You, though, the kids' book is adorable.
All of That Is You, yeah.
All of it. Yeah. Is like so cute and Kilmer loves it. I also think just going back to the Space Between, that if you were to write it today, yes, it would be different, but like the themes would stay the same.
The stories would stay the same. There's 2 parts of that book, right? There's like my history, my dating history, what it meant to me, how it affected me and my family. Like all of that is still very true, right? But then there's like a second half to the book, which is the societal impact, right? And like the future that I am looking for and hoping for, which is different today than it was when I wrote that book.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that your foundation
Yeah.
is the same.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the all of it is you, like, still exists, like, space between, like, all, like, the actual foundation of what
Like,
you're saying
my
is
story
the
doesn't
same.
change. Yes. Yes.
I mean, I feel that way in my book as well, where I think I was, like, so scared of getting canceled
Mm.
that I didn't, like, I was like, well, it could be this or this. Like, I didn't, like, stand on, like, one thing. I don't know. Okay.
Next. Your turn. Your turn.
4th trimester advice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Prepare more for your 4th trimester than you do for the birth. If you have another kid already, like if you have a toddler and this is number 2, get somebody to take care of your toddler
Yes.
those first couple weeks, because your spouse, if your spouse is taking care of the toddler, no one's taking care of you. And I don't think we quite realize how difficult that would be. So have somebody lined up, even if it's your first, maybe just have somebody lined up to, like, come over and rub some oil on your shoulders. What else would I advise? Have some nutritious foods ready to go, and set up some chiropractic care for you, for the whole family. Like, for the baby, it's so important. You wouldn't believe how much an adjustment will help baby sleep, baby poop, baby latch. And then also for you, because I don't know that everyone realizes, like, how bad your back hurts as a mom from, like, carrying a pregnancy, from giving birth, and then from holding a baby. Like, your back just kills. So have something set up to support that. What's your 4th try advice? Oh, wait, one more. Bind your stomach. And it's not about, like, getting all skinny again or, whatever. It's like your muscles have been ripped apart. Your organs have totally shifted. And belly binding is like ancient tradition and will help everything settle back into place and will help your stomach muscles kind of grow back together. Belly binding is really great.
The most, like, peaceful moments of 4th trimester for me, who, like, really just brought me so much centered energy, is keeping house and, like, cleaning and clearing space and keeping things cozy and warm for everybody, right? Not just for mom, but for dad, for babies, just making this space sacred in any way that you can, whether that's just, like, vacuuming the floor or
Changing bed sheets.
changing sheets.
You
every other
change the
day.
sheets, like, every other day, because also at the beginning you're just have liquids spilling out of your body,
Yeah.
like bleeding, milk, spit up,
Yeah.
baby poop. Like,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of stuff going on,
Mhm.
and you're just always changing the
Like
sheets, and it's so
4
nice.
sets of organic sheets that we would
Yeah.
swap out all the time.
And then during the daytime, you would lay a different cover
Blanket on
over the
top of
bed
it.
so that I could eat in bed.
Right.
And then we would take that off at night and it would be fresh sheets. That was
Yeah.
really nice.
And there was a table upstairs, making sure there was, 3 different beverages. We had a fridge upstairs, options, just like keeping things stocked.
Yeah.
Clearing space, taking care of home, keeping things stocked.
Postpartum teas.
Yeah, lots of teas.
Lots of teas are red raspberry leaf. There's tons of, like, postpartum teas online. Earth Mama makes some. Super helpful.
And finding time for yourself too. Like, it's okay to, like, go have a minute or go smoke a bowl and just, like, fucking center for a second.
Yeah, it's really hard to give yourself a minute, especially in those early weeks.
So important though.
It's a lot of demand.
Yeah. All right. Best advice going from 1 child to 2.
Does anybody have any for us?
Mine's not really advice. There is a world in which it's not as hard as you think it's going to be. I think that's been, like, my big takeaway.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of difficult times, and I understand, like, how special of a situation we have. We both have been able to be home and, be there for each other. But even like leading up to baby one, everyone's like, oh my God, it's so hard. Just wait until this happens. Like, you're never going to sleep again. Like, negative, negative, negative after negative. And to find someone that will say something positive to you about the experience and like hold on to that. There was like one person who was like, it's the best thing we've ever done in our entire lives. Don't let anyone tell you anything otherwise. And now we make it a point where whenever we talking to like new parents, like we nail that down. Like truly, this is the greatest gift we've ever been given. We wouldn't trade it for anything. Like, it's just the best. It's the fucking, being a parent is the fucking best thing in the world. I can't imagine not doing it.
They need to hear that because you hear the other side all the time. Going from 1 to 2 was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Even though there's been some, challenges, like we've still been in the baby mode. Like I'm still used to waking up at night. Like it just has been easier. My advice, I read like this Reddit thread that I think has really helped with Kilmer. The less that so this is as far as just like her with the baby. Everybody was like, buy her a gift or whatever. We didn't really do that. And
well, she was so young too. She doesn't even like really know what a gift is.
Maybe if she was like 3, that would make more sense. I don't know. We didn't do that whole thing. But the less that I'm like, oh, be gentle, be careful with the baby, don't touch the baby. The less that I'm like that, actually, the better she is. Yeah. I find that she's less likely to bite him when we are not looking.
Yeah.
It's when we're looking and watching that then she's like, ooh, this gets a reaction.
Right.
And also when I was home solo with both of them and it was harder to like separate them, I would kind of talk to Pesci. Like I would be like, Pesci, you have to wait your turn. It's Kilmer's turn now. I'm changing Kilmer's diaper now. It's Kilmer's turn. Yeah. Like I'd be like, oh, Pesci, like we can't do that. It's time for your sister. And that really, really helped her to like feel, I think, special. I'd be like, I'm putting you down, Pesci. It's time for me to hold Kilmer. And then she would, run up into my arms.
Her new favorite phrase right now is Kilmer's turn. Kilmer's turn.
Yeah, Kilmer's turn.
Kilmer's turn.
It's very cute.
It's so sweet. Oh my God. Great advice. Next question.
Okay. How do you get through times when one or both of you was struggling to show up fully? I feel like we've kind of answered this. No?
Yeah.
How do you get through times when...
Switch up tactics. If something's not working, try something else.
Yeah. Make a joke of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Be funny. Try to be funny.
Which is not always easy, but like, I mean, what comes to mind is the broad generalization. Yeah, which still makes me laugh. Yeah. We had something where Nico would be like, oh, these broad generalizations. Then we started going, broad generalizations, all broad generalizations. And every time we're in a fight, we like throw that out and then it's funny. Like, you got to find a way to laugh sometimes.
And like putting on a funny voice too,
Yeah.
Like, we have a lot of stupid voices that we use in this house. And even if you're like, I'm so mad right now. Oh, I'm going to go take it out on mom. Like just to like make it silly. Yeah. Like really just changes the tone.
I also think just like knowing that it's going to pass and not necessarily trying to make it like happen so early. Like, I don't think that we have a lot of like, here's our fight and now we made up. Right. Like, I think we have times when things are not as good and things are better. And knowing that, like knowing we're kind of in the pit and the peak is coming.
And start a podcast. This has been great.
This actually has been
today
great.
Has been really good for us.
I like you so much more today
than I did an hour ago. Do you believe in Bigfoot? That's a good question. That's a great question. 100%.
No, Bigfoot, I don't know anything
big
about
hand, big head, big dick. I believe in all of it.
Dick or balls? Who would choose balls? Dick or balls? I choose dick. This is the question that you would write.
Question? Did I write that question?
Did you?
No, I'm going to actually choose balls because if there was some sort of freak accident and I had to lose one or the other, okay, let's just go there for a second. Not sexually. If I had to lose one or the other, if I still had balls, I could still make babies if I wanted to. I think.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
If
Like,
there was a freak accident, you would rather lose your dick than your balls?
I think so.
Even though we have embryos?
No, I guess not.
When I
If I
first
didn't
started
have
having
kids,
sex,
if I didn't have embryos,
right.
if I could like jerk off a few times and save more sperm, then yeah, I would definitely choose saving my dick. But like, like if I'm talking about somebody else and there's pleasure to it, yeah, it's dick all day.
Right. When I first started having sex, I was drinking a lot. I was just going wild.
Right.
Like it was like full rebellion mode,
Fuck the church.
Yeah. So I was sleeping with this guy, but I was always sleeping with him drunk and I'm never really paying attention. And one day we had sex during the daytime. He was like over at my house and I'm having sex with him and we're doggy style. And I look
You see his balls
me
slapping
and
on your
I see
ass?
his balls. Yeah. There's only one ball.
Oh my God. You had no idea?
I had no idea. And then later I'm talking to another girl from the town. She's like, oh yeah, you're dating whoever.
One ball bub.
Literally.
No.
And I was like, I just saw that he had one. It had been months.
This is a family-friendly podcast, y'all. One ball bob. Have you ever shifted your parenting style, beliefs, and why? Yeah, I mean, I think they shift all the time.
I think we're still figuring them out.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We were both raised with very different parenting styles. We bring that into our house, both on a conscious level and a subconscious level. We adapt with our kids and how it's affecting them and moods. And yeah, I mean,
I think trying to notice what works and what doesn't, like a lot of times we'll be like, it really worked when this happened.
Yeah, totally.
It totally didn't work. I did this at the park today and she like got out of there. It's also fascinating because Kilmer has hit a new thing. Like suddenly she's throwing more tantrums.
Yeah.
She's more like she's getting a little more like mine vibes, or like she doesn't want to get off the swings at the park and she
full meltdown.
broke down, meltdown, crying over getting off the swings. And that is like something that I've never seen from her before. We're approaching 2 and I can tell it's happening. So we've been trying to figure out like when do we give it attention and when do we not give it attention?
Ignore it. Yeah.
And also when she wakes up from a nap, she has a really hard time, which I kind of think is like the Pisces in her. So we're still navigating how to like ease her up from a nap.
I mean, like the best thing, like a little secret that we have, at least when I'm communicating with Kilmer's, and you kind of alluded to this earlier, is to like make everything feel special, right? Like even in the middle of the night, if she wakes up and she wants a bottle of milk, right? And I like lean over and I grab her bottle. I go, oh my God, Kilmer, you're so lucky. This is such a special bottle of milk that you get. Like, how amazing is this that you get this in the middle of the night? I could cry right now. And then her face is, yeah, my milk. Yeah. And like, then she just like smiles and grabs her milk and goes back to sleep.
Yeah. Like finding the wonder.
Yeah. In every single thing that happens.
That's actually in that Hunt, Gather, Parent book that I love so much.
Really?
That you haven't read yet. They talk about like when kids are having a meltdown, like being outside and being like, look at this crack in the sidewalk, and how the beauty of children is they're so easily mesmerized in like the most special way by the world, like the moon, the sky, the wind, the leaf, like the freaking bottle of milk, like it all is wonder and bringing that out. And helps ground them.
Adults too should lean into all of that, right?
Exactly.
If you're like,
that's the beauty of having kids.
Yeah, if you're creating all of that for your children, then you start to see the wonder in all of life, all over again. Have kids, y'all. That's really the best fucking thing in the world.
I think we should throw these on.
Your turn.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. What parenting style, books, and experts do you love, hate, and why? Look, to be completely honest, we're not the kind that are reading all kinds of books and like following all the things. No, I think we're much more into intuitive parenting.
Right. I see more on Instagram and Twitter than I do on anything else. X. I'm sorry, I don't mean dead name Twitter. X.
I really love this book, Hunt, Gather, Parent. I don't like everything from it, but I love a lot of it because it's about like getting back to the kind of this caveman style parenting. Like how have they been doing it forever? What are the what are the not organizations? What are the societies? What are the communities? What are the word I'm looking for? No, whatever. What?
Broad generalization.
What are these? Oh my God, what is the word I'm looking for? It's so simple. That have been, oh my God, that have been passed down.
Traditions?
Societies, whatever, that have passed down parenting from generation to generation. Like where we are in our society, a lot of the ways that our parents did things, we're trying to do it different, right? We're trying to break a lot of generational cycles. But then there are other communities that it's passed down for generations upon generations, and it still
beginning of
works.
time, yeah.
And it's like beautiful,
Yeah.
you know? Whatever. I didn't say that as great as I wanted to, but I really like that book for that reason. There's like the first time I read it, it just felt like, oh, it's so much more simple than I'm making it out to be. I'm trying to do all this shit, and it's actually like so basic, so simple. Like have your kid help you in the kitchen and they'll be so happy. Like they don't have to play with a bunch of shit. All they want to do is like stand beside you and stir eggs, which is truly when Kilmer is the happiest.
This is such a stupid answer to this question, but there's this girl on Instagram. I don't even know her name, but she's like it's all about like being a 90s mom. You know what I'm talking about?
The Daily Tay, I think.
The Daily Tay? Is that what it is? Yeah. And she's just like so silly with her kids all the time. Like,
Oh no, that's not who it is.
Oh, yeah, no, different.
Someone
person.
else. I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
I have no idea what her name is, but she's just like so silly with her kids. Like, say this. If you get hurt, you have to say this, right? If you're having a really good time, you say "cowabunga, dude." Just like you watch her kids do these things, and it's just like that sort of childish enthusiasm with your kids goes such a long way.
Yeah,
The key
you
to
do
this
a
is,
lot
like,
of that with Kilmer.
Yeah, all the time. I do
Yeah.
that with people in my life all
Yeah.
the time. With
Yeah.
adults in my life, with elder folk, right? The clerk at the grocery store. It's just like how I live my life.
Right.
Your dad was like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as ones that I hate, I mean, I don't know that there's anything that I hate, but I am not.
Sleep training.
Yeah, I think that there's some pieces of
There's
like
some
like the
techniques.
sleep culture.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with because it's like so. If you do this, to each their own, but you know they have to be in a blackout room with like a noise machine and like all these things, like just overcomplicating it. Because I got so heady about it with Kilmer, and then I was just like, you know what? She loves to contact nap. She loves to be held when she sleeps.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just like lean into that. Like, why am I trying to change it?
Right.
It's going to be over before I know it. And so that's what I don't like is when the type of advice that gets you so heady and regimented that you can't actually like get on the same page with your kid. There is
Yeah.
no one right way to raise a kid. Like every kid's different.
Totally
Just
different.
like we're all
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And this idea that they're these little robots that are going to like do everything by this if we follow these steps in a book. It's just like not true.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have issues with all sorts of things. Doctor culture, food culture, right? Like we are rebellious folks.
Yeah.
And we're passing that on to our kids. Different thing. How long have we been doing this?
I don't know. How much time do we have?
Favorite character you've played and Bethany's favorite she's seen you play. Ooh, my favorite character I've played. I mean, honestly, my favorite character to play was Josh. Because of the world that he lived in, Josh on Younger. It was just like such a feel-good show. I miss that show so much. That was just like such a lovable set to work on every day. It was comedy. It was lighthearted. A lot of the other work I've done has been really intense, from The Walking Dead to City on Fire, right? That's just like emotionally and physically draining. I don't think I've played my favorite role yet. I don't think I've really been challenged to like the fullest extent. Bethany's never seen me do anything. So
Shut up. That's not true. I know exactly what my favorite role
Go.
is. I loved you in City on Fire.
Yeah.
I thought that you did amazing with that
thanks, babe.
character. And it was sad to me that the show didn't. There was like just some gaps in the storyline of it all. But you in that role, it was really, really cool to watch.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah, you did great performance. How much time do we have?
Let's do a couple more.
Why did you wean breastfeeding with Kilmer Dove, and how did she take it? Weaning from breastfeeding was probably the hardest part in my parenting journey so far. It was really tough. I weaned her because I was pregnant with this one, and I just couldn't. Like, my milk supply dropped. My body, it felt awful. Like, it wasn't working for me anymore. Every time I would breastfeed her, I would want to throw her across the room. It felt like, no, it's true. It's a common thing people experience. Like, I felt like knives were coming out of my boobs. It was awful. My whole body was on fire. It was so overstimulated. I was already giving so much to growing a baby. I couldn't like expend more out of here. People who breastfeed all through their pregnancy, like, God bless. Also, nursing a toddler, totally different experience than nursing a baby. Nursing a baby is like sweet, and nursing a toddler is not. And how did she take it? It was really hard. It was a really, really hard 2 weeks weaning her. And then we did it. And now it's like she doesn't remember. She almost remembers breastfeeding, but she doesn't. Like, she sees him and she knows mommy milk in the freezer, and she's like very fascinated with my boobs, but she doesn't remember latching or like how to latch.
Which is so crazy.
So nuts, because it wasn't that long ago. I breastfed her until I was 20 weeks pregnant with him.
Wild.
Okay,
one more question from me. If we didn't answer your question, sorry, losers. Just kidding. Do you have arguments? How do you resolve them? Next.
I thought we were going to need passes more.
Yeah, we didn't use our passes.
I know.
Pass. Pass. Can you share more about your poly experience? Pass.
We did episode.
There's more to that conversation.
Relationship 2. Yeah, there's more.
Here's another poly question. Do you ever regret your time apart being with other partners?
No. Do you regret our time apart being with other partners?
No.
I don't. I think it was so good for us.
It was so good for us. Favorite hobbies? I love this question. I love a hobby. Right now, I got an embroidery needle, and I have been just like embroidering so much stuff. Not like
Obsessively.
super detailed, like clean line work, but just, yeah.
Just stitching whatever you can.
Putting the pieces back together, baby.
That was a fight the other night.
It's so good for my mental health, though. It is like so
I know, but
good
I was
for
like,
me.
Kilmer needs to go to bed right now. Please take her upstairs. And you're like, you just got to finish this batch.
It's so good for me.
What are my hobbies right now? I don't know. Nursing a baby.
Are you kidding?
The Christmas tree.
This is like your favorite thing in the world. This is your ultimate hobby. You spend so much time thinking about this, so much time doing it, you know? I looked at you last night. I go, don't ever say that you're not an artist, because like this is art. For real though. Like sometimes you question whether or not like you can sit down and make something, right? But like look at what you just made.
Yeah.
From
And
scratch.
also right now I'm into making medicines.
Mhm.
We're doing our pine needle infusion, which is great for coughs. And I just did fire cider, and next is garlic honey.
I'm a professional shopper.
That
Collector.
you are for
Yep.
yourself.
Daddy needs to start making some more money so he can keep shopping.
We get another $7 hoodie.
Y'all tell your friends about
I wanna
this
do the other one. Let me
podcast.
see this other one. What is the significance of Bethany's long black line body tattoo? There is no significance. There is significance and there's not. It's just me from head to toe. My lifeline, my timeline, my body line. Especially when I was working in movement, I would see the body in lines and the way that it aligned. And that's it. It has the most meaning and the least meaning, but it's my favorite tattoo. Part of me wishes I only had this tattoo.
Yeah, I feel that. We haven't gotten tattoos in a long time.
I haven't gotten tattoos since pre-pandemic. I mean, granted, I've been pregnant or nursing.
We should go get some tattoos.
Okay.
Maybe let's do that. Let's go get the
Can you
kids'
get
names.
a tattoo when you're breastfeeding?
I don't know.
I don't either. I've gotten Botox
Hey,
breastfeeding.
Jamie, can you get a tattoo breastfeeding? Will you look that up for us? It's a joke.
We have a whole staff back there sitting on our couch.
We don't have a Jamie. Maybe season 2, y'all. If you tell your fucking friends about this podcast and more people start listening to it, maybe we'll have a Jamie.
Oh, you said that kind of rough.
Get into it. Tell people about this podcast.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm sitting over here and I'm thinking about how we want to close out this episode. And I actually want to write something. I want to spend some time, put some energy into it, real intention, and write a little closing prayer for all of us for this end of the year. We've been on this journey together for 15 weeks. We've shared so much of ourselves with all of you. And in return, we feel you listening to this show. That exchange of energy is very real. And I want to spend some time putting some words to paper, penning some thoughts, and closing this out with a communal prayer together. So stay tuned because it's coming to you next. Bethany C. Meyers, I love you more than anything in the whole world.
I love you too.
Thank you for doing this with us.
This was nice.
Yeah, this was really nice. Thank you for everything you do for our family.
Thank you for everything you do for our family.
I know it feels overwhelming at times, but the future is bright because of you.
Because of you.
That's
actually a negative song, I think.
This is for love shift. This is for love shift. We're shifting real.
Are we doing a bonus episode?
This is for love shift. This is for love shift. I think we should do a bonus episode different. You know what we should do?
What?
I guess it's coming out New Year's Eve. Let's do a bonus episode after the holiday party so we can talk about the holiday party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, motherfuckers. That was a lot. Bye, motherfuckers. That was better. Get out of here. We love you. This is full of shift. We're shifting real good.
As promised, let's do this shift. Get into a comfortable space where you can pause and be present for a few minutes. If it's safe to do so, close your eyes. Let's start by synchronizing our breath. Inhale for 3 counts. Hold and exhale for 4. Again, inhale. Hold and exhale. Continue to breathe at your own pace, and with each breath, you are a little calmer, a little more grounded, a little more relaxed. One more all together. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Now imagine yourself as a tree. The first one that springs to your mind, or perhaps the second. Feel yourself embodying this tree. Notice your branches extending skyward, your roots anchored deeply into the fertile earth. Are you fruiting, flowering, changing colors, shedding? What season are you in? With every breath, feel the wind caressing your limbs, the sturdy bark protecting your core, and the roots drawing sustenance from below. In this grounded state, reflect on the year past. Think about how, like a tree, you've weathered storms. Think about the challenges you've faced and the strength you've found. You made it. You are here. You are alive. Now, let gratitude flood through you, like sunlight through your branches. Appreciate your body, your mind, your heart. These things are with you through every season. Extend this gratitude to your family and friends, your network of support, nourishing and stabilizing you, just as roots do for a tree. As you look forward to the new year, visualize the landscape that lies ahead. See it as a lush forest, rich with potential and new growth. What seeds will you plant? What growth do you wish to cultivate? Make a promise to enter the new year ready to support and uplift one another, no matter the storms that may come. Repeat these affirmations with me, aloud or in your mind. Either way works. I am safe. I am vibrant and alive. I am entitled to my feelings. Whatever I seek will flow to me as naturally as water nourishes the roots. I am abundance. Whatever I need to let go will drop away like autumn leaves from a tree. I am liberation. I am cleansing. I am alive, vibrant in every breath. I am evolving, constantly transforming. I am the shift. This is full of shift. This is full of shift. This is full of shift. Let's take one more cleansing breath together. Really big inhale. Hold it. An audible exhale. When you are ready, gently bring your awareness back to your surroundings. Open your eyes if they are closed, and keep a piece of that tree with you, remembering this vision of strength and renewal. Happy New Year, you shift heads. We love you, and we look forward to growing together in the seasons to come. Thank you for being here. This is Full of Shift.